everybody's up to date with things on the back end, and of course Coach Midnight as well, live on that stage itself to draft for the team.
Nice to see Midnight still there, and looks like the Atlas as well as Marcel have been banned out alongside with the Zushin from Aurora Gaming, and for SRG banning the Freya as well as the Paquito. I'm thinking of Fanny should be banned here because TNZ has shown that he has a pretty wicked Fanny. It's something that you really should respect.
I think everybody needs to respect it, unfortunately. The Freya, of course, Paquito getting banged alongside it to make sure that the double fighters isn't going to show up. They leave the Fanny and Hirara for the choice of Aurora Gaming, as they are the ones who lock in the Barats as their first pick.
And I feel like we've seen enough to know that the Barats is actually a pretty strong first pick, because even if you counter him in lane, his prowess is really just going to be annoying when it comes to picking someone off. Which, by the way, just noticed, looks like Uni will be playing this one, not Sakai's. So I wonder if this is a trend that will, continue on even towards the MPLs. Looks like we're jumping off the draft for a while. Maybe something is going on. Hopefully that will get sorted out. But yeah, the Barats gets picked up. So I wonder if they do want the Fanny.
I think is Fanny something that they want, or do they prefer the Hirara for the iframes? And yep, it looks like they go for the Hirara for the extra iframes, and they make sure they also get access to the Selena, which is a really good option here, because it's not only does it slow down rotations, but it gives you the information that you need. This should be a Fanny pickup on the side of Aurora, but I don't know if they want to do it now. And yes, they immediately do so. Do they want to also hold on to the Cho just in case, or maybe like a Belleric Atlas? Atlas is already banned out, so it's got to be Belleric.
Yeah, so right now, I gotta say, I'm liking Aurora's start to the draft here, but knowing Stormy with that Selena is one of those heroes, just like the Cho, and honestly, even with the Fanny, as long as you're good enough, you can really turn things around. So I'm 50-50, but I'm really liking TNZ on this Fanny. I just want to see some kind of counter coming in from SRG, either some form of catch, or winning side lanes, just so that they can keep on moving inside of the jungle, making sure that TNZ does not secure any more green camps, doesn't secure his buff. So this third pick is going to be very, very important. Do they want to secure a Moskov just so that they can protect themselves, and instead they go for the Melissa?
I'm all for it. I'm all for it, because now they don't have to worry about the double fighter day. This still is a pretty early game composition based on what we've seen so far from Aurora Gaming. At this stage, it's going to force Sigibom back onto a marksman, and I think that's exactly where SRG is going to attack them. Start banning out the marksmen at this point. Get rid of the Moskovs, get rid of all the bad match for Melissa, and it should be forward after that. What does that leave us with? We also still have to worry about the potential. Do they want to worry about mid laners? Okay, now I have to think about like all the Melissa matchups. Clint needs to go. Brody should be okay for Melissa overall. They should also worry about the Farsa, but they've got Selena on their side, unless they got special gift for Cram at the end of the draft.
Well, they banned the Rafaela, so that's good. Because yeah, thinking about it, that could have been a big problem. So for Aurora, I think, is there any real counters towards the Barats right now? I mean, like, there are a few, but they're not really all that meta. They're banning out a Badang instead. So if they're gonna ban more roamers here,
I think I'd say the Esme and you both have a decent matchup into it. I think the Uranus more so.
100%.
But 100%. SRG are the ones who banned it out, right? Which is why Coach was eager to pick up the Belleric first ace case rather than Hirara trade, which I think either way would have been both of these junglers.
Yep. Well, I like that Aurora understands that they need to get rid of a counter engager, or Badang can kind of be both, can be an engager and a counter engager. I'm thinking, because something that they have used before, Gideon, is that Kufra. I don't know whether they want to try that again.
Really? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about this one. The Kufra, I mean, I suppose, but I don't think it's going to bring enough value in the team fight.
I agree with you.
Purely just for Fanny.
I agree with you 100%. It's just that, because they used it before, I can't help but think like, do they want to try again? Because, yeah, one more time. Because maybe in their head is like, it's not a bad idea. And I do agree, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. And let's face it, even if they lose, they're just gonna go to the lower bracket, which, you know, I'm sure no one wants to, but it's not that bad.
Be that bad, but I also think that, you know, at least when it comes down to drafting, this is going to be like a lot of information for SRG. I think that it was they wanted to get rid of Uranus. It's maybe giving a Farsa over gaming if Cram has something that can potentially disrupt it. But that still comes at the cost potentially having a bad laning phase against this Barad. There's not a lot here right now that can actually deal with the way that he actually clears up the wave. And you called it from their hands for Yums, Eudora opposite side. So they're not going to go for the artillery. Want to happen.
Again, it does look like Midnight is just bringing back the Ube strat just without the necessary healing. I mean, Pagu can heal if he has Revitalize, but he really doesn't have to. Looking at the composition of Aurora, is just we're all going to be good friends. We're all going to walk together. And everyone has some form of AoE damage or CC. Well, you know, like except for TNZ. Sigibum, I would say that it still has some form of AoE damage here. So this is like, they are creating the Aurora Avalanche, right? They just want to move fast, try to end the game by 12, 13 minutes. But somehow if they don't, the Clint is still there. He's still able to do a lot. One of the heroes that can actually deal with the Melissa, which looks like in this current meta, if you want to deal with Melissa, you just have to like outrange them.
Yeah.
Once you outrange, she's so good.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, but I think you can handle it. For a guess on what Cram is gonna do and lead us back into game.
Cram finishes up with the Terizla, which I think is drafted just so that he can be a body in front. Because in terms of counters, I don't really feel like he counters that much. Not in lane and not in fights as well. Unless he's able to get on top of Sigibum, which shouldn't be easy. It really shouldn't.
It shouldn't be easy at all, but at this stage of the game, man, I would like to see how this Terizla is going to progress. Yes, the damage reduction is always going to be nice. You can actually start the initiations, but I don't know whether or not it's enough of a threat to force things out of their opponents. Let's see how much lane presence they actually get in this game as we're finally kicking off this best of three series of the day. RG facing up against Aurora, both of which RG a little disappointed international performance, and Aurora being so close far. I'm sure they want to prove themselves as we head on into the land of Dawn. Welcome everyone.
Well, this is going to be SRG going up against Aurora from Turkey. And now I really feel like with the lineup that Aurora has, they should be able to fight basically at full strength by the second turtle. The first, you know, there's going to be some skirmishes here and there. But by the second, it should be enough for them to gank up as 5 and then try to take out SRG one at a time. But maybe that's what SRG is banking on. That's why they pick up the Kufra as well as the Terizla, where both have some form of AoE. And hold on, Pagu taking quite a lot of damage. Even Uni goes in. First blood goes over to Yums. And now TNZ gets stopped. But Rosa flickers forward, still able to get Uni there. TNZ looking pretty low. Looks like the trap isn't gonna be enough. Will Innocent get there in time? Yes, he will get the kill on TNZ.
I think that Rosa should be able to get one more, but no. Oh, off from Stormy seems good, but he does miss the trap. At the end of the trades are very minimal. Overall, SRG are walking away with a huge chunk of money and a lot more kills than Aurora Gaming. From this stage onwards, we'll see if they're going to turn this around, maybe on that top side.
Well, this is more of the SRG that I would say people were looking out for, where a lot of mechanical heroes and they're utilizing the mechanics very, very well. Is it really Lunar starting off with the all right, well, Sigibum looks like is losing a bit of the trade here, going up against Innocent. Looking at all of the emblems set up, it looks like everything is all in well. Lunar this time is going for the tenacity, so not really going for any shenanigans with the Festival of Blood, including Cram. Even Cram is using tenacity here, assuming that everything is correct. And interesting enough, Stormy is not using the Veterans Hunter. So SRG looks like they will be getting this turtle for free. It is all off of Cram winning his lane quite a lot. And the mid trio of SRG getting quite a lot of kills. Selangor Giants they're attempting for an invade here. So far, Pagu take all of the damage. It looks like someone got stunned up at the back. Looked like it's Lunar. Lunar for now is still surviving. Looks like he's gonna get taken down when he secures the kill. And now TNZ is stuck. And oh my god, 3-man stuck to the wall. Yumes, an incredible play. Stormy secures another kill onto TNZ. Even though he died, but still the trap does a lot of work.
Whew, those traps, you got to be extremely careful as we see these team fights really starting to get out of control. I mean, SRG are still sticking to their play style, making sure that all the micro mechanics are there and taking advantage of the fact that when you think the fight is done, it really isn't. And they know how to kind of press that advantage. Let's quickly look on over to the emblem set here. A lot of tenacity is being built by a lot of our frontliners, but of course, it's going to be Mystery Shop coming in from both Stormy and Innocent to get that extra discount on their items. I thought it was going to be pull yourself together for Innocent, but he is currently running Quantum Charge on top of the Purify, so he's like, it's short enough. I just want the extra money.
No, honestly, I'm with you there, because the meta right now is really just to get that pull yourself together so that you can spam your. Oh wait, he's going for Purify, not even going for Flicker. Looks like Innocent really is not that worried about TNZ. All right.
I think he can do a pretty good job. I think the only thing he can't deal with is getting, eaten by Lunar or, getting taunted by Pagu. That would be like the worst case scenario.
Well, looks like Yumes is caught, but the bouncing ball still helps him survive. Does he want to go in with the Tyrant's Revenge? No, still waiting for that. Overall, right now, the Kufra does look pretty good because he's able to actually stop TNZ with a bouncing ball. So much better than the MSC performance for now.
Yeah, so far so good. And now they hit another arrow. They're looking for combinations and unfortunately can't seem to get above that.
Oh, Yumes! Tiger's Rage hits onto one, and my goodness, SRG threw everything, even the kitchen sink, onto good old Rosa.
Going to be a little difficult here overall. So we see these teams, like, again, continuous fighting for a large majority of this game. They're going to be able to get the turtle on their hands, but the laning phases is sort of done for their side laners, right? I think at this stage is where Cram can really start taking advantage now that, Barats doesn't have the stacks to maintain. And better yet, he's got the wave clear on top of it to kind of keep up the pace.
We rarely see Stormy on this Selena, but whenever he is on a Selena, I gotta say those arrows are very deadly. Even if they don't hit, they're pretty close. They're pretty close on hitting. And right now, Selangor Giants looks like Pagu gets hit again. He for sure is gonna, I don't know, take about more than 100k damage by 10 minutes here.
It's a lot of the damage to take, and it's just to breathe for them. And I think that's what Aurora Gaming is trying to get. Just a single moment to take a breath and say, you know what? We're good. We scale back up. Our main win is going to be Seaboom trying to win out this lane. So really, Aurora should be investing just a little bit more pressure down on this bottom side.
Honestly, I agree, because I feel like that's the only winning lane that he can really have, because Lunar, again, we're not entirely sure what happened in the lane, but looks like he couldn't do much. But there's a fight there. TNZ got caught, and look at all those HP missing. Rosa probably got a fat ult, but looks like the stun got over to Rosa, enabling Yumes to get that kill. And now Lunar is all alone. Cram is there, able to hit a penalty zone. Looks like Lunar is just waiting for death as Seaboom tries to back them up, but the damage is not there just yet for the Clint. Oh my god, Lunar takes forever to die.
He's taken so long to die. I mean, to be fair, Rosa was already getting an amazing ult. Like, at that point, it's hard not to pick up as many kills as you possibly. Now, I'll keep it even, right? We look at the gold score. Initially, the build-up for RG was looking great. Not so much, right? It turned from at least a 3,000 back to the 2000s, and Aurora are just going to try and just hold on for as long as they possibly can. Unless TNZ finds a different angle here, another arrow hits.
Hits onto Pagu again, and now the rapid dry use. Tyrant's Rage hits 2 onto those walls. Uni gets killed onto Rosa. Able to hit Uni. It looks like Uni still survives. It was actually Innocent that got beat up. Uni, Cram as well. Stormy is still fine here. Lunar looking a bit unhealthy, but looks like TNZ almost killed Stormy there. Good on Stormy, able to get away.
Now they're gonna have to take their time. Just a moment, because at this stage, Aurora 7 and 12, they can actually bounce back from this. And they even got the lane swap with the tier 1 down on bot side already crushed. They're going to continue this onslaught playing through Sigabum as their main spearhead. Lunar has to act as a strong shield, but he's just trying to maintain stacks at this point, right? He wants to hold this turtle hostage for as long as possible, all while TNZ can actually influence the rest of the map.
Yep. Looks like someone got caught. And now Rosa able to do quite a lot of damage. Humes gets taken down by Sigabum. And now Stormy tries to find an angle. Innocent is there. Innocent is free, hitting onto everyone. TNZ able to get Cram. And now TNZ tries to get away. He does not have the energy. One more hit, and it looks like Stormy is able to get the kill. And now SRG, Innocent as well as Stormy, able to influence the fight enough to push Aurora Gaming away from the turtle.
Yeah, lethal ignition, real pain to deal with, not to mention that also the glowing wand was still burning him mid-flight. That last auto attack coming in from the minions just put him at a lethal range. A little sad there for TNZ, but nothing much you can do about it at this stage of the game. For now, at the bare minimum, we are seeing that Sigabum is able to scale up pretty decently. He hasn't died just yet, but these arrows coming in from Stormy have really hindered Lunar and even Pagu from finding an insane engagement.
I feel like Midnight and the rest of the team are telling Rosa, like, Rosa, next game you're gonna get on that Selena, because this is so annoying. Humes channeling the revenge, gets TNZ, and oh my god, beautiful engages coming in from SRG. Luna tried to help him out by eating Stormy, but Cram able to get the penalty zone onto 2, and now Selangor Giants move in. Innocent dealing free damage on the Pagu as well. Luna, Humes goes back in with a Tyrant's Rage, and up from the back, Uni finds Rosa all alone, gets a killing spree. Selangor Giants keep moving forward. Nice engages by Humes and Stormy.
What are these guys? Delta Squad? It feels like they just continuously fight every single time. They're just using their micro mechanics and finding these incredible angles to get early on into these fights. And maybe this is what they were trying to implement during MSC, right? Maybe this was the major idea, but it feels a lot more polished this time around and a lot more confidence that I'm seeing from Selangor Red Giants, especially coming in from Humes, right? After like a devastating performance during EWC, you would have imagined that he'd be a little more scared to open up this map, a little more scared to try for these big plays.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, the connection between Humes and Stormy, I might even say it looks stronger than before. I don't know if it's like because of a hero thing with the Kufra as well as the Selena. They're chaining their crowd control beautifully, but here's the thing. Aurora Gaming, Sigabum is 3-on-3, right? And he does not have the Sky Piercer, but at this point, against this kind of draft, I feel like he doesn't even really need the Sky Piercer. So I feel like SRG, they are one force engage away from Sigabum just popping off, but for now, they're still zoning out Lunar. They're still zoning out Pagu. Sigabum is there. Aurora Gaming, they just got to figure out how to protect Sigabum, and then they should be able to take SRG down.
Yeah, and I think that right now they're just probing the reactions of SRG, right? They're trying to see what abilities and what people get the Hornet's nets rattled up here. And SRG understand that they are a very cooldown-based composition. They can't just fight whenever they want. They have to time it perfectly with the Selena to get the maximum value. And so far, Sigabum, he can't seem to get in on the pit just yet.
Okay, these arrows need to stop, because even some of them, I'm like, okay, that should not hit. That should be out of range. But right, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not trying to glaze my boy, but if the arrows keep on hitting, it's hard to not talk about it, you know?
It's true. He's been landing headshot after headshot, whether it's, against stun targets or whether they're just walking straight forward. But at least they haven't, caused Sigabum to die. And Sigabum, he's already got his 3 items. If we look at it right now, Endless Battle, Fury, Malefic Gun already purchased. He has the damage if he can just get close. And I think that's the big problem. He's a little worried that maybe Cram can just flicker penalty zone him.
Well, for now, SRG, they're continuing the assault, getting the mid tier 2. And now only the bottom side that has the tier 2 left. The Lord is still marching forward, and this is still not easy for Aurora Gaming, because the siege coming in from SRG between the Selena as well as the Melissa, even if they don't, oh my god, Sigabum got stunned, Humes jumped in, Tyrant's Rage onto 2, and then the follow-up coming in from Cram with the oh my goodness, now SRG, that was a sick engage.
That was pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if SRG was ready or they just have to be ready at all times, right? Every single time these arrows come out, it seems like their eyes are already looking towards it, whether it gets hit or not. Maybe that's something that Aurora game could use. Oh no, another one.
Well, what the heck? TNZ got caught mid-flight. They burn it down. Stormy gets another kill. Lunar probably get taken down by Woody, but it's like Yumes is the one that secures the kill, and then a double for Stormy. Getting a kill with the trap. Selangor Giants, they are not stopping. They are relentless. 12 minutes, 36, 37. Singing Boom gets taken down. Wipeout SRG. They took down Aurora Gaming in under 13 minutes.
Holy, wow. I definitely wasn't expecting SRG to be coming out of the gate swinging as hard as they did, if I'm being perfectly honest here. They are punching, it feels like they're punching above their weight. It feels like they are chasing for something more. They are trying to correct all the mistakes that they made during MSE here. Despite it, honestly, the draft, I wasn't 100% convinced about it. Now seeing the way that they can play from ahead, sure, it looks good, but if they didn't have that lead in the first place, would it have looked the same? Was this all Banker's couple of interactions, or was it 100% faith in the teammates?
I feel like it's 100% faith in the teammates because you know what? You just throw it out. You just throw it out. We're gonna go in.
Again, I mean, we're just seeing highlights of how many headshots this man can hit. And of course, there was that big wombo combo, of course, from Rosa alongside with Lunar. But even so, those moments ends up getting Rosa killed anyways. I think right now, Aurora Gaming, they're just not reacting to the arrows fast enough. I think that's going to be the main issue. I don't think the draft had much of an issue in this particular case, but a lot of these fights ended up in choke points. And I think that's something they have to recognize here. As much as they are good at choke points, I think, unfortunately, SRG is arguably even stronger just because of that penalty zone, right? Every single time you see Cram actually walking in, trying to follow up for the kill, he can absorb a decent amount of damage thanks to his passive Body of the Smith. And when you think he's about to go down, that's when you see Innocent. That's when you see Yums come up with a go away from me, even with the Tyrant's Revenge in times, just to ensure that no, our space is front to back. You're never gonna get past us.
Well, this is insane. By the way, Mirko, I know you're watching this one. Shout out to you. In fact, you know what? To all the streamers watching, shout out to you guys. You guys have been amazing. But this is, I don't know, Gideon. How does Aurora respond? I really feel like either ban the Selena or get it quick.
Either ban the Selena or get it quick. I don't know. I feel like the Kufra was played really well from Yums. Like, the early game was kind of dicey, but once they got that lead, I think that Yums did a really good job at completely shutting down TNZ while still finding like major value with his own ult. I think that's something that Aurora just has to play around, unfortunately. And this Selena, I'm not 100% sure whether it's worth the ban or not. Maybe we'll see if Aurora goes over to the red side. They're probably going to leave it open and see whether SRG is going to be the ones who end up banning it.
Honestly, listening to the other streamers, even they're agreeing that this Selena has to go. I mean, Rosa's Selena is pretty good, so I think they will try to get it away. I'm more surprised that the Kufra worked this well. I mean, I use Kufra as well before, but I haven't touched it in like 1 year plus. Now I want to play it again. Oh my goodness.
Yums made it look like he was rusty during MSC, and now he's put in a couple of hours to kind of, you know, add that extra layer of polish towards the end there. It has been a very, very volatile game. Very surprising to see that SRG was able to kind of come back into form and really put down their signature playstyle. The early game interactions obviously not in favor of Aurora, but I think that's something that they can work out with, you know, down the line, or at least a single VOD review. But with that being said, our teams need to hit the drawing board. They need a little bit of a break. And of course, when we come back, more Mobile Legends action.